Greetings! Mantare79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game. And now in today's video, the deck profile I'm going to be making one for is a Brandt Gates, Welstra, Blitz Arms, with Schwarzer Eins, Schwarzer Y, with cards available only up until DZ-BT01. Okie dokie, let's get started. And now for the ride deck. For the cards in this ride deck, we are playing 1. Grade 0, Blitz Chief Mechanic, Wharton, starting unit. 1. Grade 1, Blitz Best Programmer, Schwarzer. 1. Grade 2, Blitz Head Researcher, Uber. 1. Grade 3, Faded One of Guiding Star, Welstra Blitz Arms. And 1. Ride Deck Crest, Energy Generator. The Grade 0, Blitz Chief Mechanic, Wharton, starting unit. Skill, auto, when this unit is ruled upon, if you went second, draw a card. So for Wharton, it's the starting unit of this deck. Like any other starting unit in the D standard format, it features the same skill and activation, which is, when written on top of, if you're the second to go in the game, draw one card. The Grade 1, Blitz Best Programmer, Schwarzer. Skill, auto, when this unit is rolled upon by Blitz Head Researcher Uber, cost, Soul Blast 1. If the cost and paid, search your deck for up to one product with the grade less than or equal to your opponent's Vanguard. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So for Schwarzer, it's the main grade 1 to ride this deck with skill. When written on top of by Blitz Head Researcher Uber, by paying the cost, you have the chance to search your deck for a product card that's the same grade or less than your opponent's Vanguard and add it to your hand, making it useful for your later game strategies. The Grade 2, Blitz Head Researcher, Uber. Skills for skill, auto as Vanguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, cost, Energy Blast 3. If the cost and paid, choose a product from your order zone and operate it. Second skill, auto, when this unit is rolled upon by a Welstra in its card name with Divine Skill. If your order zone has a product, cost, Soul Blast 1 and discard a card from hand. If the cost and paid, search your deck for up to 2 product cards with different card names from each other, and from cards in your order zone, reveal them, put into hand, and shuffle your deck. So for Uber, it's the main grade 2 to ride this deck. Its skills, the first skill, when attacking an opponent's Vanguard, by paying the cost, you can operate any product card in your order zone to make use of its skills for your upcoming battle strategy. And the second skill, when written on top of by a Welstra of Divine Skill, as long as the conditions of the skill are met and you pay the cost, you have the chance to search your deck for 2 different product cards that are not available in your order zone to make use of in your later game strategy. The Grade 3, Faded One of Guiding Star, Welstra Blitz Arms. Skills for skill, auto as a Vanguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, cost, Energy Blast 2. If the cost and paid, choose a product from your order zone and operate it. And this unit gets plus 10,000 power until end of battle. Second skill, Divine Skill, action as a Vanguard, cost, Counterblast 1. If the cost and paid, choose up to 2 product cards with different card names from hand, put them to the order zone. If you put 2 cards, choose a product from your order zone and operate it. So for Welstra Blitz Arms, it's the main grade 3 to ride this deck. Its skills, the first skill, when attacking the opponent's Vanguard by paying the cost, not only do you get to operate a product card in your order zone to make use of its operability, but you can also give a huge boost of power to your Vanguard. And the second skill, by paying the cost, not only do you get to deploy 2 product cards from your hand to the order zone, but you can also operate a product card after deployment, so giving you not only more product cards with abilities to help in your battle strategy, but also immediately operating one of them to help in your attack against your opponent. The Ride Deck Crest, Energy Generator. Skills for skill, you may only have 1 Ride Deck Crest in a ride deck. Second skill, auto from the ride deck. When you ride, put this card into the crest zone. If you went second, Energy Charge 3. Third skill, continuous, you may have up to 10 energy. Fourth skill, auto, at the beginning of your ride phase, Energy Charge 3. And 5th skill, action is and once per turn, cost Energy Blast 7. If the cost and pay, draw a card. So for Energy Generator, it's a powerful crest to have in your any deck in the D standard format, which is the 2nd skill. When you ride, while this card's in the right deck, like for example from grade 0 to 1, you can then immediately deploy this card onto the crest zone. And if you're the second to do it, you can also energy charge 3, giving you energy to make use for your later skills. And then the 4th skill, while this card is on your crest zone, whenever you begin your ride phase, you can energy charge 3, giving you more energy to pay for later skills. And then the 5th skill, by paying the cost, you can also draw more cards to restock your hand with. And with that, we just about covered the deck's ride deck. Next, let's get on to the main deck, Grade 1 lineup. And now, for the Grade 1 lineup. For the Grade 1s in this deck, we are playing 4. Grade 1, Schwarzer 4. Grade 1, Detonation Mutant, Bubble Mine. 4. Grade 1, Planet Wall Dragon. And 1. Grade 1, Set Order, Product, Mobile Kennel and Garten. The Grade 1, Schwarzer Skill, Auto as a rear guard. When your Grade 2 or greater set order is put into the order zone, cost. Put this unit into your soul. If the cost and pay, draw a card. So for Schwarzer a pretty good Grade 1 to play in your Brandt Nation decks with its skill. When the skill conditions of the skill are met and you pay the cost, not only do you get to build up your soul for later soul blasting, but you can also draw more cards to restock your hand with. The Grade 1, Detonation Mutant, Bubble Mine. Skill, Auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If your order zone has a set order, cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost and paid, countercharge 1. So for Bubble Mine, another good Grade 1 to play in your Brandt Nation decks with its skill. After boosting an attack, regardless if the attack hits or not, as long as the conditions of the skill are met and you pay the cost, not only do you get to build up your soul for later soul blasting, you can also refund your counterblast for later skills. The Grade 1, Planet Wall Dragon, Sentinel, Perfect Guard. Skills, 1st skill, Continuous Sentinel. You may only have up to 4 cards of Continuous Sentinel in the deck. 2nd skill, Auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit until end of battle. If your hand has 2 or more cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So for Planet Wall, it's a perfect guard for the Brandt Nation. Like any other perfect guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation, which is, when used to guard with, discarding 1 card from your hand, you can block an enemy attack. But it also features an ability unique to all perfect guards in the D standard format, which is, when used to guard with while you have less than 2 cards in hand, you will not have to pay the usual discard 1 cost, making Planet Wall a potential no-cost perfect guard in desperate last resort situations. The Grade 1, Set Order, Product, Mobile Kennel and Garten. Skills, 1st skill. After a set order is played, put into your order zone. 2nd skill, Auto. When this card is put from hand or order zone into drop during your turn, put this card into order zone or soul. 3rd skill, Operate, Auto from the order zone. When this card is operated, call this card as a 10,000 power, 1 critical normal unit with boost to an open rear guard circle. And put that unit into the order zone at the end of turn. So for Garten, it's one of the product cards meant to be played in the Welstra deck with its skills, 2nd skill. When this card is discarded from hand or retired from order zone, you can choose to either return it to the order zone to make use of in your later game strategy, or to put into your soul to build up for later soul blasting. 3rd skill, when operated, Garten then can serve as a potential 10,000 point attacker for your front row or 10,000 point booster for the back row. And with that, we just about covered the deck's Grade 1 lineup. Next, let's get on to the deck's Grade 2 lineup. And now, for the Grade 2 lineup. For the Grade 2s in this deck, we are playing 4. Grade 2, Operate Master, Freiheits. 3. Grade 2, Blitz Accounting Department Staff, Virginia. 2. Grade 2, Schwarzer's Y. And 3. Grade 2, Set Order, Product, Assault Flight Carrier, Lubrizol. The Grade 2 of Operate Master Freiheit. Skills, first skill, Auto. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, if your order zone has a set order, cost, counterblast 1 and discard a card from hand. If the cost and paid, search your deck for up to 1 card of the same card name as your Vanguard or up to 1 product card, reveal it, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. If you have a Vanguard of Welstra in its card name, choose up to 1 product card from your hand and put it in the order zone. Second skill, Auto is a rearguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard of Welstra in its card name, cost, Soul Blast 2. If the cost and paid, choose a product from your order zone and operate it. So for Freiheit, a support card for the Welstra deck with skills the first skill. When called, when the conditions of the skill are met and you pay the cost, you can search your deck for either another copy of your Vanguard or a product card to add to your hand for your later game strategy. And after adding the card, when the secondary condition of this first skill is met, you can deploy any product from your hand to the order zone, giving you another product to make use of in your later game strategy. Any second skill, when attacking the opponent's Vanguard, while the conditions of the skill are met and you pay the cost, you can operate any product card in your order zone to make use of it in your upcoming offensive strategy. The Grade 2, Blitz Accounting Department Staff Virginia. Skills, first skill, Auto. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, if you have a Vanguard of Welstra in its card name, cost, counterblast 1. If the cost and paid, choose a product from your order zone and operate it. Second skill, Auto is a rearguard once per turn. When a product in your order zone is operated by another card's ability, cost, Soul Blast 2. If the cost and paid, draw a card. So for Virginia, another support card for the Welstra deck for skills, the first skill. When called, while the conditions of the skill are met and you pay the cost, you can operate any product in your order zone, making use of its operability from your upcoming strategy. And a second skill, while on the rearguard, when you operate a product with another card's ability, not Virginia's, you can then pay the cost to draw more cards to restock your hand with. The Grade 2, Schwarzer's Y. Skill, continuous as a rearguard. If your opponent's rearguard is retired by your set order's ability this turn, this unit gets plus 10,000 power. So for Schwarzer's Y, a pretty good Grade 2 to play in your Brandt Gate Nation decks with its skill. When the conditions of the skill are met, Schwarzer's Y then can serve as a potential 20,000 point attacker for your front row. The Grade 2, Set Order, Product, Assault Flight Carrier, Lubrizol. Skills, first skill. After a set order is played, put it in the order zone. Second skill, Auto. When this card is put into the order zone, if you have a Vanguard of Blitz in its card name, draw a card and Soul Charge 1. Third skill, Operate Auto from the order zone. When this card is operated, if it is your main phase, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 unit, card from among them, with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard and call to rearguard, and shuffle your deck. If it is your battle phase, draw a card. So for Lubrizol, it's one of the main product cards to play in your Welstra deck, with skills to second skill. When deployed to the order zone, while the conditions of the skill are met, you can then draw more cards to restock your hand with and to build your soul for later soul blasting. Third skill, when operated, depending on which phase you operate this order card, you can activate one of 2 effects. If you choose to operate Lubrizol during the main phase, you can check the top cards of your deck to superior call a rearguard to serve as a potential front row attacker, bat row booster, or a rearguard whose skill you should take advantage of later in the game. And the second effect, which is activated during the battle phase, when you operate in the battle phase, you can draw more cards to restock your hand with. And of that, which is about covered the deck's Grade 2 lineup. Next, let's get on to the deck's Grade 3 lineup. And now for the Grade 3 lineup. For the Grade 3s in this deck, we are playing the Grade 3, Faded One of Guiding Star, Welstra Blitz Arms. The Grade 3, Set Order, Product, Mobile Fortress of Obliteration, Freischütz Maximum. And the Grade 3, Set Order, Product, Extreme Satellite Weaponry, Uryanti. The Grade 3, Faded One of Guiding Star, Welstra Blitz Arms. Since we already explained this card's effects during the right deck portion of the video, just skipping ahead. The Grade 3, Set Order, Product, Mobile Fortress of Obliteration, Freischütz Maximum. Skills, first skill, continuous, you cannot play this card. Second skill, operate auto from the order zone. When this card is operated, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it. Choose one of your opponent's vanguards, and it gets minus 5,000 power until end of turn. Then cost, counterblast 1 and return a rear guard to hand. If the cost and paid, call this card as a 23,000 power, 1 critical normal unit to an open rear guard circle. If you called a card, put this unit into your order zone until end of turn. So for Fracture's Maximum, it's one of the main product cards to play in the Welstra deck. With skill to second skill, when operated, not only do you get to retire an opponent's rear guard and weaken the opponent's Vanguard power, but by paying an additional cost, you can also call Fracture's Maximum to serve as a potential 22,000 point attacker for your front row. The Grade 3 set order, product, Extreme Satellite Weaponry or Yanti. Skill, auto. When this card is put into your order zone, if you have a Grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Welstra in its card name, draw a card and energy charge 3. Second skill, operate auto from the order zone. When this card is operated during your battle phase by the ability of a Vanguard of Welstra in its card name with Divine skill, if this card was not put into your order zone this turn, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards, and until end of turn it gets minus 10,000 power, and if your opponent's damage zone is 4 or less cards, deal 1 damage. So for Yanti is one of the other main product cards to play in your Welstra deck. If its skill is first skill, when deployed to the order zone while the conditions of the first skill are met, you can then not only draw more cards to restock your hand with, but to also build up your energy for later skills. Second skill, when operated, when the conditions of the skill are met, you can then not only retire an opponent's rear guard, you can also weaken your opponent's Vanguard by 10,000 power and also deal 1 damage. And that, we just about covered the deck's Grade 3 lineup. Next, let's get on to the trigger lineup. And now, for the trigger lineup. For the triggers in this deck, we are playing 1. Grade 0, Star Dragon, Deed of Infinitude, Elder Breath, over trigger. 4. Grade 0, Patrol Robo, Decker Cop, critical trigger. 4. Grade 0, Blitz Pilot, Yakuto, critical trigger. 3. Grade 0, Amelorate Connector, draw trigger. 2. Grade 0, Lady Healer of the Creaking World, heal trigger. And 2. Grade 0, Whistling Arrow of Recursion, Abafold, heal trigger. The Grade 0, Star Dragon, Deed of Infinitude, Elder Breath, over trigger. Skill, trigger, additional effect. Double the power and critical of all of your front row units until end of turn. Increase to double its power and critical when activated. So for Elder Breath, it's the over trigger for the Brandt Gate Nation. Like any other over trigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation, which is when revealed during a drive check or damage check, you get 100 million power and draw 1 card. But he also features an ability unique to it alone, which is when revealed during a drive check on your turn, you can double the power and critical of all of your front row units, both Vanguard and rear guards included, for that turn. So with Elder Breath, it can more or less give you a huge boost of power and critical to make it easier to pressure or finish off your opponent with. The Grade 0, Patrol Robo, Decker Cop, critical trigger, skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units and it gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. So for Decker Cop, a powerful critical trigger to play in your Brandt Gate Nation decks with its skill. After boosting an attack, regardless if the attack hits or not, as long as you don't mind moving Decker Cop from your rear guard into your soul, not only do you get to build up your soul for later Soul Blast, but you can also give the remaining attackers in your field, Vanguard or rear guard, a little extra power to work with. The Grade 0, Amelorate Connector, draw trigger, skill, continuous as a guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5,000 shield. So for Amelorate, a powerful draw trigger to play in your Brandt Gate Nation decks with its skill. When used to guard with while the conditions of its skill are met, Amelorate Connector then can serve as a potential 10,000 point shield on its own. The Grade 0, Lady Healer of the Creaking World, heal trigger, skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle, if your opponent's attacking unit has attacked 2 or more times this turn, this unit gets plus 15,000 shield until end of battle. Active if this battle is its second attack this turn or more. So for Lady Healer, a powerful heal trigger to play in your Brandt Gate Nation decks for skill. When used to guard with while the conditions of her skill are met, Lady Healer of the Creaking World then can serve as a potential 25,000 point shield on her own. So ideally, Lady Healer is a counter heal best played against opponents who play decks specializing in restanding, attacking multiple times their units, Vanguard or Rear Guard. Against your opponents, Lady Healer can be a very, very powerful defensive card. The Grade 0, Whistling Arrow of Recursion Alphafold, Heal Trigger. Skill, Auto. When this unit is put on the Guardian Circle, if the attacking unit's critical is 2 or greater, and its critical is increased by a non-trigger effect ability, or its original critical is 2 or greater, this unit gets plus 15,000 shield until end of battle. So for Alphafold, another powerful heal trigger to play in your Brandt Gate Nation decks with its skill. When used to guard with, while the conditions of its skill are met, Alphafold then can serve as a potential 25,000 point shield on its own. Ideally, Alphafold is a counter heal best played against opponents who play decks specializing in increasing their attacking unit's critical by skill or card effect, either their Vanguard or Rear Guard. Against such opponents, Alphafold can then be a very powerful defensive card. And with that, we just about covered the deck's trigger lineup. For the triggers in this deck, we are playing 1. Over Trigger, 8. Critical triggers, 3. Draw triggers, and 4. Heal triggers. And of that's just about all the time we have for today. First I want to say is thank you to the viewers watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. And I also hope you all show support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my videos and channel. And of that I say goodbye and see you all.